Yeah, perfect. Great. Thanks everyone for joining us on time for today's webinar. And this is, of course, Careers 1.1. And we are looking at a very important uh, career option, that is entrepreneurship, that has become absolutely favorable at the current juncture. We've been joined by one of our most illustrious alum, Saurabh Dayal. And most of you don't actually need any introduction when it comes to Saurabh Dayal, because he is, like I said, one of our most illustrious alum that we're having. But let me just quickly give a quick bio of Saurabh Dayal to all of you. Saurabh Dayal currently works as a vice president currently at Paytm Payment Services, and he heads the startups and small merchants department. Before that, has got an impeccable career of making sure that he co-founded Clear Dekho. Clear Dekho is, of course, needing no introduction at all. Before that, has worked with brands like Wipro, HCL in the IT sector as well. And of course, did his soil PGPM program way back, in 2010 to 2011. So sort of, let's just get a little bit more structured to this entire conversation, and let's take it part by part. First of all, I think we'd like to know your journey from your entire mouth. So it'd be great if you could just introduce yourself, let us know a little bit more about yourself, please.
Hi, Nirja. Thanks for a great introduction. I can assure you this is one of the best bio somebody has given of me. So very grateful and thanks for that. Before I actually begin, should we wait for another 5 minutes? I see only 12 participants. Should we wait or how do you want to do it? You let me know.
Arvind, should we proceed? Yes, 1 second.
We can wait for 5 more minutes. I think.
Sure, we can. We
Sure.
can.
So Nirja, you're a student here or you're part of the team there?
Yeah, I am I take care of the career development and also the branding initiatives here. I work very closely with the marketing team as well,
Okay.
along with that, the career development team. That's where I think first time when I called you, you said that are you part of the CMS team? So I said, yeah, I take care of that. Arvind, can we put the recording on stop right now? Then when we start, we can. Great. I think before we begin, for everybody who's joined us, very, very quickly, a quick bio sharing of our guest for today. This is, of course, like I said previously, also, the guest needs no introduction. He is one of our most illustrious alum, somebody who's got the reputation of working at the grassroots level. Saurabh has worked with teams of all shapes and sizes across India. And of course, currently in his capacity of making sure that, he's taking care of the startups and small merchants as a vice president at Paytm Payment Services. Before that, of course, had an impeccable record as a co-founder of Clear Dekho. Clear Dekho currently valued at 12 million USD. Of course, Saurabh will be, rectifying any of those statistics that we are sharing. And previously, besides this, Saurabh has also worked with brands like Wipro and HCL. So not just an entrepreneur, but a person who really understands typically how businesses work, how companies are set to pace altogether. So Saurabh, first of all, welcome. Thanks so much for taking out the time. I know that, our team has been interacting with you for quite many weeks to make sure that, we get your time and calendar blocked, but rightfully so, we got the time. So welcome and thanks so much again for your time.
Thanks, Nirja, for lovely introduction. And it's always a pleasure coming back to Soil and addressing the students. So yeah, looking forward to a good interactive session with everyone.
Absolutely. May I please urge all the participants, please feel free to put your questions that you have for Saurabh in the Q&A section, as well as you can probably put it on the chat box as well. But just to get a little bit of structure to this entire conversation, Saurabh, I would let you spearhead the conversation. We'd really love to hear your story from your own self. So tell us a little bit about your journey after Soil 2010, or even before that you had, work experience. So just tell us about your journey overall. We'd love to hear that.
Sure, Nirja. So what I've thought is I've not prepared any presentation as such. What I've thought is I'll share few stories of my Clear Dekho journey, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm currently doing in Paytm, and then I'll keep it very open for the fellow students to interact and ask questions about progressing in career path or whatever they wish to ask. And also, as you said, anybody can stop me at any point of time to ask any questions. So yeah, so I'll just give a quick background and then I'll move on to my Clear Dekho journey. So I'm an engineer, and post engineering I worked for almost 2.5 3 years with Wipro Technologies in Bangalore. So I was campus placed there, and after 2.5 3 years I figured out maybe I'm not the tech guy, typical tech guy. So decided to do MBA, and it actually turned out to be one of the best decisions I took in my younger days. I joined Soil 2010 to 2011. I did MBA in marketing, and trust me, it was one of the most transformational journey which you guys would explore in the next 2 years. I've heard that this batch has just started. They've just joined a couple of weeks back. So many congratulations to all of you. You have got to the best place, and hopefully this next 2 years will transform your lives, and all of you will come out shining and progress very well in your career. So after MBA, I was campus placed with HCL Infosystems, and I stayed there for a couple of years, did marketing and sales both. And then briefly for a year and a half, I was working for a startup called Prognosis, and doing sales. And then I got an opportunity to work with Paytm. This was 2014 to 16. Couple of years I was with Paytm, and then I went on to start Clear Dekho. Did that for 6.5 7 years. Post Clear Dekho, again got an opportunity to come back to Paytm, and currently I'm driving a vertical called Startups and Small Merchants, and taking care of P&L as a capacity of Vice President there. So yeah, this is pretty much my brief introduction.
That's
And yeah.
That's really interesting that you said that, you worked with Paytm before also. So I think it's more like a sort of a homecoming back. But we have a question which commonly is asked also. Back then, of course, entrepreneurship was not as coveted, or the Shark Tank generation was still not born, so to say. So it must have been a tough decision for you to probably just go and take that up as a calling. So tell us a little bit more about how you decided to just make sure that you were a part of the founding team of Clear Dekho. You co-founded and you made it like a 12 million dollar company. So just tell us a little bit more about what was the calling, or was entrepreneurship always on your cards before?
So Nirja, what happened was that post my HCL days, I joined a startup which I mentioned, called Prognosis. That is where so my role there was I was heading the entire India business. So my founder was based out of Boston, US, and entire India business, I had the responsibility to take care of it. And that is when I got an opportunity to meet a lot of senior management people when I was uh, trying to expand business across India. So when you meet those people, you get a lot of inspiration, and that startup bug us samay, I hope I'll be talking in English if that is okay with everyone, or if you want me to continue 100% in English, you can let me know.
Not at all, not at all. I think English definitely works. So whatever you're comfortable. So we even though we have like a mixed bag, we've got people, from places like Andhra and Tamil Nadu as well. But 200%, you can go ahead with Hindi as well. Not an
Yeah.
issue.
So you guys can stop me if you want me to repeat anything.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
मेरे को startup का कीड़ा तब लगा था when I was working there for almost 1.5 years. I was working there with Prognosis. वहाँ पे I got an opportunity to meet with a lot of inspired leaders who are running their own companies, and my founder was also based out of Boston. So a lot of inspiration came from that, and that is when I started exploring कि अच्छा startup भी एक दुनिया है, and I maybe वहां से the bug hit me, and then उसके बाद I worked with Paytm, and in Paytm also I got an opportunity to meet a lot of young founders who are doing meaningful contribution in their own industry and providing employment to a lot of people, creating a lot of opportunities for small businesses to prosper. So that is when I decided ki why not explore this side of the journey, because academically I've always been an average student. I was exactly opposite of what introduction you gave. So I was not a very academically very sound and everything. So uh, so then I thought that let us try to give this side of the thing. That time I had the age by my side. I was just married. So I thought that this could be the right time for me to do experiment. So me and my partner, we were residential neighbors. You can say we grew up playing cricket together. He was 2 years younger to me. He is 2 years younger to me. So both of us decided we were zeroing down on something. We discussed couple of more other things, and then we zeroed it down to eyewear. Let us do something in the eyewear space, because eyewear is one industry where there's a lot of bottleneck. Somebody wants to start a business, the easiest thing would be to buy a finished good. For example, आप एक शर्ट खरीदो, कहीं से शर्ट बनवाओ, you buy it for 100 rupees, you mark up और आप 200 रुपए में बेच दो. It is the most relatively easier business to do. You buy a finished good, mark up the price, and you sell it off. चश्मे में ऐसा नहीं है. You have a frame, you have a lens, then you have a power. So the customer will get his eyes tested. It is not कि आप गए और आप चश्मा खरीद के ले आए. It is a 2-3 days of journey where your eyes will be tested, then your lenses will be made, then your lens will be cut, it will be fitted into the chashma, and then the final product get delivered to you. So इसमें बहुत सारे bottlenecks थे. इसीलिए if you see in the last 20 odd years, Lenskart has been the only premier player apart from Titan and few other players. Otherwise, otherwise if you compare it with any other industry, there are 100 plus players. So आज कितने सारे D2C brands आ गए हैं, whether it is in apparel, whether it is in healthcare, whether it is in anything. So this was one industry where we felt that, okay, there is an opportunity. India is also known as the blind capital of the world. There are, if I'm not wrong, there are close to 3 CR people in India who cannot see. And also a lot of people after the age of 40 develop cataract. Because of this, India has the most blind people, and we saw that there's a clear opportunity, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities where access to quality eyewear is not there. So that is what we identified, and we thought that, okay, this could be an opportunity, big opportunity, and if we are able to do justice to the work, we can actually scale it very big. So that is how we decided to get into eyewear. And I'll share a small inspiring story. In fact, I have 2 stories, but probably for today's session, I'll keep it one story. And maybe next time when we get an opportunity, I'll share the other story. So we started Clear Dekho, and it was, so the first year of Clear Dekho, what we did was ki we made a online marketplace. So I'm sure most of you understand what a marketplace is. Marketplace is just like how Flipkart and Amazon run. There is a platform, there are lots of sellers and there are lots of buyers. तो sellers अपने product list करते हैं, buyer उस platform पे आता है और वो सामान खरीदता है, and seller give a 10-20% cut to the platform like Amazon and Flipkart. This is how the entire journey works. So we built a similar platform where we had a lot of sellers who want to sell their sunglasses and frames. They listed on our platform, and then buyers were coming and they used to place order. So within a year, we realized 2 big issues in this model. One was कि customer loyalty नहीं है in online products. So when I say customer loyalty, for example, if you guys want to travel from Delhi to Mumbai, you'll open Make My Trip, Ease My Trip, Yatra, and all these travel portals. You will not have loyalty to one particular portal. जहाँ से आपको flight, you might have a loyalty to Indigo or a SpiceJet or a whatever, Lufthansa, but you will not have a loyalty towards कि मुझे यात्रा से book करना है या Make My Trip से book करना है. You will open all the three websites. You'll see कहाँ पे आपको सबसे ज़्यादा, India being a price sensitive country, you will always want to save money. So आप वहीं से बुक करोगे जहां से आपको सबसे सस्ता टिकट मिलेगा. So we realized कि यहाँ पे प्राइस सेंसिटिव, इंडिया इज प्राइस सेंसिटिव, इट इज नॉट लॉयल. तो आपको चश्मा जहां से सस्ता मिलेगा वहां से लोगे. स्पेशली इन द अर्ली डेज व्हेन वी वर नॉट अ ब्रांड, वी वर नॉट known in the country. So, and the other problem was CAC, which is called customer acquisition cost. So customer acquisition cost is nothing but the cost which a brand incurs to acquire one customer. So especially in the D2C space, in the Indian ecosystem, this customer acquisition cost is very high. It is as high as, you can say, 400 to 500 rupees. So we realized that to acquire one order of Clear Dekho on the website, we had to spend a lot of money. Eventually it was not a sustainable model. So what we did was, I think God was very kind. We used to operate from एक फर्स्ट फ्लोर में हमने 15,000 रुपए का एक रूम लिया हुआ था. 4-5 people, me, my wife, my partner, his wife, and couple of more employees. We used to operate from there and from that one room. And fortunately एक चश्मे की दुकान खुल गई on the ground floor from where we were operating. वो चश्मे का दुकान था ऑप्टिकल हाउस. एंड obviously since he was running the offline चश्मे का business and we were running the online चश्मे का business, so obviously we became friends and we used to talk, discuss business, how both of us can scale business. And then this guy was not from the optical background and 2-3 महीने हुए थे उसकी दुकान खुली थी, and he was making operational losses of close to 25,000-30,000 a month. He was discussing with me कि सौरभ कैसे करें, because I'm not from this background and my business is not growing. Somebody told me to invest 12 lakh of rupees. I made the entire setup. I bought optical machines, eye testing machines. I bought all the inventories of chashma, sunglasses, everything. And then I hired a store manager. We call him optometrist. Optometrist is the person who checks eyes. So I invested in all of this, and eventually so his monthly running cost was close to 75,000. And the sales which he was doing for the last 3 months, for the first 3 months, was only 50,000 rupees. He was incurring a loss of 25,000-30,000 a month. So he told me कि सौरभ मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ यार दुकान बंद कर देते हैं, और दुकान बंद करके I'll go back. The guy was from, I think, from Karnal. He said कि I'll go back to Karnal and he was into apparel business. And he said that I'll go continue my business. So I told him, so that is when we sensed that, okay, this is an opportunity. We also wanted to venture into retail, लेकिन retail में आने के लिए 10-12 लाख रुपए चाहिए था. You have to invest in inventory, you have to make the entire furnishing and everything. So that is when I saw this opportunity. I told him कि यार ऐसा करो, तुम दुकान मुझे दे दो, I will run the store for you. You go back to Karnal. अगर loss हुआ तो I will bear the loss. अगर profit हुआ तो I'll transfer the profit to you. This was my pitch to him, and I think it was a win-win for both of us. I wanted to venture into retail. He wanted to move out of retail. He didn't want to venture. He didn't want to have any more. He didn't want to incur any more losses. So I think that was the best solution for him, rather than selling a shop. 10 लाख में बनाया था, 6-7 लाख में बेचता, उसको 3 महीने में 3-4 लाख का नुकसान हो जाता. So sorry. Yeah. So basically he agreed to my proposition. I told him that बस मुझे एक चीज और करना है. I will put my board. I'll take out your name. I'll put Clear Dekho. And he said, yeah, I'm okay. As long as I'm not incurring any losses, I'm okay. He went back to Karnal. We ordered a board. We put a Clear Dekho signage on the top of the shop. And I myself became the store manager of that shop. I had the optom with me. We retained the old optometrist, and I didn't have a choice. It was our, you can say, our do or die situation. It was our first opportunity to enter into retail. तो फिर मेरा बस एक ही काम था कि कोई भी कस्टमर अगर आ रहा है तो वो खाली हाथ वापस ना जाए और हम सेल्स करें. So we used to work on getting more footfalls. I used to personally distribute a lot of pamphlets, and whatever couple of people I had, all of us were on the road trying to pull customer inside the store and then try to give the best experience to the customer and convert into sales. So first couple of months, I think it took for us to break even, or third month onwards say we started making profits. So जो उस समय मंथली खर्चा था क्लोज टू 75-80,000 का खर्चा था. तो आई थिंक सेकेंड मंथ वी वर एबल टू रीच 80,000 रुपीज सेल एट द स्टोर, and due to which we were not incurring any more losses. और पहले 2 महीने जो भी हमें लॉसेस हुए वो लॉसेस हम ही लोग ने बियर किया. और थर्ड मंथ से जो प्रॉफिट होता वी स्टार्टेड शेयरिंग विद द ओनर ऑफ द शॉप. And I exited the company a couple of years back. I spent 6 years. So till 6 years, that store in Vasundhara, Ghaziabad was our first store of Clear Dekho. And this is how our journey started with that one store. उसके बाद फिर अचानक से मेरे को कुछ टाइम बाद एक कॉल आया फ्रॉम जयपुर, एंड दिस गाय सेड, हेलो मेरी सौरभ से बात हुई. आई सेड जी सर बताइए. उसने बोला कि सौरभ मेरे पास एक दुकान है जयपुर में, मैंने सुना है कि आप दुकान चलाते हैं. मेरे पास एक चश्मे की दुकान है और वो लॉस अभी कर रही है, क्या आप वो दुकान लेना चाहेंगे? एंड द वेरी नेक्स्ट डे आई वेंट टू जयपुर. द गाय वॉज वेरी ग्रेशियस. आई स्टेड विथ हिज फैमिली ओवरनाइट. एंटायर नाइट वी डिस्कस्ड the business model and everything, and next day he handed over the keys to me. He said, okay Saurabh, aap chalao dukaan. And that is how we opened our second store. I gave him the same pitch, loss hua to mera, profit hua to aapka, and he agreed. That is how we opened our second store in Jaipur. And uske baad fir something very exciting happened in our life. After maybe a month or so of running these two stores, I got a call from an unknown person. He said, hi, क्या आप सौरभ बोल रहे हैं? मैंने बोला जी सर बताइए. बोला कि सौरभ मुझे क्लियर देखो की फ्रेंचाइजी लेनी थी. And that time franchisee as a term we had only learnt in classroom. Personally I didn't understood what a franchisee is, barring the literal meaning of franchisee. So I said, हाँ सर हम फ्रेंचाइजी देते हैं. उसने बोला कितने का? मैं बोला सर 10 लाख का है. That was the figure which came out into my mind. बोला कि सर मैं आपसे मिलना चाहता हूँ. And we met him. We pitched, and the guy handed over 50,000 rupees check to me as a brand fees. Today 50,000 seems a very small amount, but for that time, somebody paying for a brand which was unknown, 50,000 was the most important amount for us, most valuable amount for me personally in my life. So उसने 50,000 का check दिया, and that is how our third store opened. And then in the last 4, 5, 6 years, we opened 100 plus outlets in 40 plus cities, 20 plus states across the country. So this was how the journey was, starting from one store, 2 store, 3 store, where we didn't have any money. We started with somebody else's money, and then we sold, and all of them were franchisee outlet. हम लोग 10 लाख, 12 लाख, 15 लाख रुपए में फ्रेंचाइजी बेचा हमने. And so people kept trusting us. They kept their faith in us, and people started investing. So we didn't invest even a single penny in opening the retail channel for us. So this is pretty much the scaling journey for us in Clear Dekho.
This is actually mind-boggling. I think we could have heard this entire story for the rest of the day as well. But very interesting how lucidly you explained customer stickiness, how you were trying to talk about, it sounded more like a D2C masterclass to us. Of course, even in your Geo7 podcast where you were, you're talking about your retail startup, Clear Dekho, and beautifully so, like you said, that, from Vasundhara, Ghaziabad, all the way, how you penetrated the entire North Indian market. It's really interesting to see how you standardize the unorganized optical sector overall. Clear Dekho ka, of course, we've gone through your entire journey, we've deep dived and we've taken a look at your Clear Dekho journey. Switching gears a little bit, when you're leading literally as a vice president and taking care of the startups and mid-sized companies at Paytm. So is it like your decision of giving it back to whatever you had learned as a journey of scaling, Clear Dekho in the 6 years when you were associated as the co-founder, or what really prompted you to trigger that switch altogether and take a role in your current capacity at Paytm?
So I had my reasons of exiting. It is a bit confidential, so I cannot share a lot of information. But I think after 6-7 years of working, 6.5, 7 years of working with Clear Dekho and building it from the scratch, it gave me one of the most life-changing experiences I could have ever asked from Almighty. So I'm very lucky that I got an opportunity to build something from the scratch. And the amount of learnings it gave me was immense. I could have worked for corporate for 10, 20, 50 years, but the learning which I got in the last 6-7 years of building Clear Dekho from the scratch was immense. And I had my reasons, and then I got an opportunity to work with Paytm, and last couple of years have been phenomenal for me. I've been given so the business which I'm handling in Paytm, the magnitude of business is 500x of what I was handling in Clear Dekho. So it is a very big 180-degree phase shift from what I was running in Clear Dekho and what I am driving today in Paytm. But I think God has been kind, and I've been able to do justice to the work which has been given. And yeah, last week I got promoted to vice president, so pretty happy. And yeah.
Absolutely right. That's what we were also getting confused. Suddenly we saw your LinkedIn. We were very happy for you that it wasn't showing associate vice president, it was showing vice president only.
Yesterday, I think we got a post of this AVP, and then I thought कि यार मैंने change नहीं किया है LinkedIn, तो मैं change कर लेता. तो only for this soil webinar I changed. So thanks a lot. मैंने change किया अपना.
Right. So many congratulations for that. We also have this question commonly asked. Even though we keep on saying this at Soil as well, that typically even if you work very very hard, you would be able to get the highest packages are typically between say 20 to 30 lakhs, right? And even from a wealth generation perspective, and the value creation that you're doing or the kind of jobs that you're impacting, still there's a little bit of hesitation in the minds of a PGDM or a PGPM student to take up entrepreneurship, right? So how do you think someone can actually realistically start considering this? Because when we talk about value creation, wealth creation, a proper impact that you're trying to create, it's actually created through entrepreneurship overall. So a lot of time, students are a little scared, even though we have a drop shipping sales sword challenge that is inbuilt into the curriculum now, but still we see students not being so proactively, seeking the path of entrepreneurship. So what will your piece of advice be, considering you also took the leap of faith, you also were working, but you thought that, just starting and setting up that Vasundhara shop in action was supposed to be one of your biggest drivers. So what would your piece of advice be for particularly a lot of our audience is actually Gen Z? So what kind of typical advice would you like to give them so that they can come out of their comfort zone and genuinely think about entrepreneurship?
Okay, so I'll just try to break some myths here because I've lived through that journey. I was myself carrying a lot of myth कि अगर मैं जॉब करूंगा तो मेरा सैलरी नहीं होगा, मेरा स्टेबल सैलरी नहीं होगा, what if it does not work? I can assure you one thing, coming out from my own experience, whether your startup works or your startup doesn't work, the amount of learning which you will get, for example, you start something and you work for 2 years, the amount of learning which you will get, irrespective of the state of that startup, whether it gets shut down or it continues or it becomes a Flipkart of the world, the amount of learning is unparalleled. So you work for a corporate for 5-6 years, and you work for you run your own company for a couple of years. the learning will be far ahead. So eventually it will turn into money after 5 years. So it will be a hockey stick. So you work for a startup, your own thing. We started with zero money, salary. I was drawing exactly 0 rupees for a year. Next year, I used to draw what, 20,000 rupees a month. And it went on for a few years. And then eventually we raised funds. So during my tenure, we raised 30 CR. So the amount of learning you get is unparalleled. And so the journey of our entrepreneur is like this. It's a straight line for 3, 4, 5 years, and then it becomes a hot hockey stick. And that is when you make a lot of money. So if you see a life journey of a corporate guy after 20 years and a startup guy after 20 years, so maybe for the first 5, 6 years, the corporate guy will be in this kind of a 45-degree slope. He's making money with the time he's passing. But eventually, after a certain time, the startup guy will cross over the corporate guy. This is what I personally feel. Please आप लोग डरिए मत कि मेरा स्टार्टअप चलेगा नहीं चलेगा. Don't think too much about money. Don't think कि यार इसकी तो जॉब लग गई 10 लाख रुपए सैलरी की और मैं तो स्टार्टअप कर रहा हूँ. ये सब मत सोचिए, because after a certain point of time, the guy who got a job at 10 lakh, he's also doing well in his own life. And the guy who's running a startup, irrespective of the fact whether it fails or succeed, he's also doing very well in his life. So I remember I just had I just had a meet of my school का एक alumni meet हुआ था. And I saw a lot of people जिनसे मैं envy करता था यार. एक हमारे क्लास में एक टॉपर थी, वो फर्स्ट डेस्क पे बैठती थी. शी यूज्ड टू गेट सो मच हाई मार्क्स और हम लोग का 60-70% ही मेरे आते थे. एंड आई यूज्ड टू एनवी कि यार ये कैसे हर बार 90+ ले आती है. And today she is doing theater, completely different from what we all thought. And she was a topper in science. So you don't know what your life will take you through. And आपको नहीं पता है आप कहाँ जाओगे, कहाँ पे आप सक्सेस अचीव करोगे, किस इंडस्ट्री में रहोगे, किस रोल में रहोगे. सो इतना सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपको अगर अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले टू डू अ स्टार्टअप, आई वुड सजेस्ट मे बी वर्क कपल ऑफ years in corporate so that you understand how a company works. And then you do your startup. If it works for you, great, continue. If it doesn't work for you, you take a call, and then the learning will help you keep progressing in your career. So don't worry. Life will time will solve everything for you guys. You don't have to worry. You guys are very young. Abhi aap log aaye ho. Enjoy your 2 years in soil. Have a open mind. Take immense learning. Don't compete with your peers. Your peers somebody might get more marks, you might get lesser marks, does not matter. Knowledge is what it will take you through and keep helping you grow in your life. So enjoy. And I think soil is one of the best platform, and all of us are blessed to be part of the soil journey. So be humble and just enjoy your life and your career.
Absolutely. I think some of the questions that were posted, you've already, addressed all of those via anecdotes. Now, as we're moving towards the end, I hope you know that you're also not just known as an entrepreneur, but you're known as somebody, who leads growth strategy and a hardcore marketer as well, right? With your profound understanding, and that's pretty much how you're also perceived. So tell us a little bit more about your journey, and a lot of time again there is a lot of skepticism about, should I take marketing? Is sales and marketing going to be relevant? But whatever you've been speaking so far as well, like from your Vasundhara shop to the Jaipur Clear Dekho outlet to growing and expanding it to 100+ outlets altogether. So it's been a journey where you've taken care of the growth, the outreach. So another myth that a lot of people have is that sales and marketing, they're not the rainmakers, so to say. So what is your opinion on that front?
Nirja, could you please repeat? Sorry, I missed your question.
So you are known as a growth, a person who leads growth and marketing as well for brands, and even in your capacity at Clear Dekho, that was a role. Even in multiple podcasts, you've talked about that, like the G7 podcast as well, right? That how you were
Mhm.
leading to the market penetration. So still there is, still a lot of people think that analytics is the future, or marketing is becoming a little obsolete, or they have their own reservations about taking marketing. So what has your opinion been about marketing per se? How important do you think it is in today's day and age?
I think marketing as a function in any organization is the most. So there are two functions which is most important. And since this is a college, we are talking about students, and everybody is worried about placement and the money they'll draw post college. Marketing and sales are the most highest paying jobs in the country. I will not comment about finance because I'm not the finance guy. But marketing and sales definitely is the most important. So while I was running Clear Dekho, I used to take care of business, marketing, retail, and my partner used to take care of finance, legal, HR, and all of that. So I'll talk about what I used to take care of. So marketing and sales are the two most important functions in any organization to grow. अगर एक कंपनी का सेल्स बढ़ता जा रहा है, टर्नओवर बढ़ता जा रहा है, रेवेन्यू बढ़ता जा रहा है, so the sales team is doing a fab job, and obviously they are being helped by the marketing team who's creating awareness of that particular product. And in this current competitive time, when we have so many startups, so many products, so many D2C brands, where बंदा कंफ्यूज हो जाए कि आज मुझे टूथपेस्ट लेना है तो मैं क्लोजअप लूं कि पेप्सोडेंट लूं कि कोलगेट लूं कि देयर आर सो मेनी अदर ब्रांड्स विच इज कमिंग, या मुझे जूता लेना है, या मुझे शर्ट लेना है, या मुझे कुछ भी लेना है. There are so many brands that it is very tough to recollect when you actually want to buy. So it is the most important function today, I think, is creating awareness and awareness which sustains in the mind of a user. So if a marketer is able to do that, any company will cherish that person, and the guy can innovate. So marketing is a function where you can also innovate a lot. Finance and sales are still the orthodox way of running an organization, but marketing is one which is very creative, very innovative. Every year we see a lot of innovation happening in marketing. With technology, there are so many evolvement which is happening. So if somebody, so marketing is a great opportunity. So there is no question about it that marketing, sales, finance, all three are the pillars of any organization. So if you are good at it, you'll be valued. And also, as you said, analytics and all these the new functions which is coming up. See, every function has a role to play if an organization is growing. If the organization is not growing, then every function is useless. So it is up to an individual how he can progress and evolve and deliver what is expected out of him, whether he's a finance guy or a marketing guy, analytics guy, or a supply chain guy. You need to deliver at the end of the day. Understand what is required of you. Don't create your own goals while running an organization. Align your goals with the goals of the organization. The organization will have few goals. I see a lot of disconnect between a lot of mid management and small and lower management people and the senior management goals. So senior management wants to drive a company in a particular way, but the junior management is running are actually who's on field, they are running in a different way. So that should not be there. The sync is missing for a lot which I have experienced in the past. So understand what organization needs, and then you drive. So every role is important. So
Correct,
I hope
absolutely.
I hope I was able to answer your question, Nija.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the way that you've said that, if there isn't enough revenue generation that'll happen, you can't really, build the capabilities of the other so-called sectors or the verticals that you'll have in the company. 200%. I just like to take, if you're with your permission, two student questions. We've got
Yes, sure.
Rajvi and Gaurav's question. So Rajvi Bodha is asking that Saurabh sir, please tell us what are the most common mistakes new entrepreneurs make that can be avoided?
Okay. Where are you actually seeing these questions? Sorry, I cannot see.
In the Q&A, if
अच्छा
you just go
ठीक
to the
ठीक
Q&A,
दिख गया
yeah,
दिख गया दिख गया. Okay, Rajvi, yeah. Hi Rajvi, thanks
yes,
for the
that's it.
question. What are the most common mistakes you have? I think one mistake which every entrepreneur makes is to think यार मैं फंड रेज कर लेता हूँ पहले, उसके बाद मैं बिजनेस बिल्ड करूंगा. सॉरी टू से ऐसा होता नहीं है. Nobody will invest even 1 rupee in your business if your business is just on a piece of paper. You have to और आपका ना कन्विक्शन भी नहीं आता है दूसरे के पैसे से. तो फर्स्ट यू पुट योर ओन मनी, योर हार्ट एंड सोल. So how we scaled our business was very simple. What we did was we opened our optical marketplace. We built our website with our own money. We put our little funds. I had, my partner had, we both some few lakhs of rupees we put in. We built a website. We hired a team. We took a office, small 15,000 रुपए रेंट का हमने एक ऑफिस लिया एक रूम का. And we started running the show. When we were able to achieve 150 orders a day, that is when we went to an angel investor. We spoke to him and we told him ki boss, this is what we have done in the last 6 to 8 months with the little amount of money, and this has been a successful model in, let's say, Vasundhara or a Ghaziabad. Now you want to scale up to, let's say, North India. We need this much more money. So you have to make a workable model. उसमें अपने पैसे से बनाइए, बिकॉज दूसरे के पैसे से कन्विक्शन नहीं आता है. आपका पैसा लगा रहेगा ना तो आपके पीछे आग लगे रहेगी. Otherwise वो fire will be missing and you will not be able to deliver. So invest your money, make mistakes, build your startup, again make mistakes, keep learning, and then once you feel ki you have reached a stage where you can scale up to more territories, more geographies, then go to a VC, a small VC, pitch your idea. There should be, and pitch your idea, and luckily you'll get some amount in your pocket. One more thing which I want to share is ki the problem statement has to be big if you want to scale a big business, if you want to build a big business. So for example, somebody says कि मुझे आज टी-शर्ट बेचना है, तो वो then what is the USP or what is the, जैसे शार्क टैंक की भाषा में बोलते हैं, what is the moat. So you have to understand there has to be some differentiator. मुझे याद है when we were studying MBA from Kotler in soil, उस समय बोला जाता था कि there could be two kind of differentiation. One is price differentiation, one is product differentiation. So Clear Dekho was a price differentiation and there was not a product differentiation. हम चश्मा वही बेच रहे थे जो मार्केट में मिल रहा है, but we were more affordable. We were, you can say, a lens cart of a tier 3, tier 4 town. क्योंकि वहां पे लेंस कार्ट का मॉडल इज नॉट सस्टेनेबल बिकॉज वो थोड़ा प्राइसी रहेगा. इट कुड नॉट अफोर्ड, वो पूरा रिटेल का कॉस्ट इतना हैवी होगा. बट अब वहां पे क्लियर देखो विल बी अ सक्सेसफुल बिकॉज वहां पे क्लियर देखो बिकेम अ एस्पिरेशनल ब्रांड. क्योंकि वहां पे एक शर्मा ऑप्टिकल स्टोर था, एक गुप्ता ऑप्टिकल स्टोर था, बट जब वहां पे क्लियर देखो आए, इट बिकेम अ एस्पिरेशनल ब्रांड फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ ऑडियंस जिसने कभी एक मॉल में जो लोग नहीं गए हैं, दे हैव नेवर सीन अ प्रीमियम स्टोर, a store with an AC, a store with a proper optometrist who has a degree or a diploma, who can does eye checkup. So all of that eye testing equipments नहीं होते थे पहले. दूसरे तरीके से आई टेस्ट होता था. एक फादर को आई टेस्टिंग आता है, उसने बेटे को सिखा दिया and he's running the shop. The beta is not, the son has not studied from a eye hospital. He does not have a degree of optometrist. He's not an optometrist. He's just a normal guy, 12th pass, who's checking his eyes because his father has taught. So all the standardization was missing in the unorganized sector, and we got that opportunity. So the problem statement has to be big. So figured out कि यार India तो 90% तो unorganized ही है ना, 95% unorganized. There was a huge market. So just ensure कि जो आपका problem statement है that is huge, and you don't run after fundraise and money. Everything will be a byproduct. अगर आपका business अच्छा scale up कर जाता है, investors will knock your door. You don't have to go out in the market. अगर नहीं अच्छा कर पाता है तो आप मार्केट में जाओगे तब भी आपको पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. So probably these are the few inputs I had for Rajvi.
Great. I think that's so true that, you need to test and then go ahead and get that inorganic finance raised. There's a question that Gaurav is asking. Hello, sir. What are the major trends that you foresee in the fintech space, particularly now that you're associated with Paytm in a leadership role and the payments industry in the next 5 years? How do you see this transforming? If your time schedule is permitting, if we can take this question. And there's
Yeah,
one last question after that.
yeah, no issue. So, fintech space mein, I think payments is evolving. In what I have seen, I was in Paytm back in 2014 to 16. I was with Paytm. उस टाइम पे QR कोड नया नया आया था, UPI नहीं था उस टाइम पे. So everybody was using they were filling their wallet and then they was doing a transaction. So from that time, QR codes you would have seen in every shop. आज QR कोड है, लेकिन उस समय साउंड बॉक्सेस नहीं होते थे. तो पेटीएम ऑल्सो इवॉल्व, वो फिर आपका पेमेंट कंफर्मेशन को उसने ऑडियो कर दिया कि 100 रुपए रिसीव हुए. सो द पेमेंट्स इज इवॉल्विंग इन द फिनटेक स्पेस. एंड टुडे इन द लास्ट few years we have seen UPI take over every other instruments. So every person who's doing even a 5 रुपए का ट्रांजैक्शन करना है या 2000 का ट्रांजैक्शन करना है, lot of people prefer using UPI. पहले यूपीआई में आप क्रेडिट कार्ड से लिंक नहीं कर सकते थे, बट ऑफ लेट लास्ट 1 year और सो यू हैव सीन कि अब रुपे क्रेडिट कार्ड को भी आप लिंक कर सकते हैं. तो यू कैन एक्चुअली, यूपीआई इज नॉट ओनली अ डेबिट इंस्ट्रूमेंट, इट हैज बिकम अ क्रेडिट इंस्ट्रूमेंट आल्सो इफ यू आर यूजिंग अ क्रेडिट कार्ड. So I think times have changed, and with coming times, you'll see keep on advancement and convenience happening from a customer-centric point of view. So I think fintech, the only you can say the downside of fintech is कि इस business में margin बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. Volume is huge. Everybody is using, has become digital thanks to Jio, Airtel. I think all of India has become digital and everybody is doing a transaction. Fintech has evolved in that way कि आज cash component कम हो गया, because of which a lot of corruption has reduced. I'm no one to comment, but I believe there would be a reduction in corruption and hoarding of money because of the digitization of money. So I think from a cash economy, we are moving towards you can say a cashless economy. There are few countries in the world which is 100% cashless. I don't know if we are going in that direction or not, but I think fintech has evolved for good for everyone. It has solved a lot of problems for everyone. It has become very, very convenient for the merchants as well as for the consumers and shoppers like you and me. It has, and as you said, Gen Z. So I think India being the youngest country in the world with such huge base, I think we are moving towards a cashless economy. Not sure whether this will be 100% achieved or not, but I think now nobody's carry cash. Everybody has, at least people who are 18 and above, they have their own wallet, they have their own digital money, and everybody is using that. So I think fintech has evolved for good for everyone.
That's very interesting. One last question that Madhurika is asking, and this is that there's a myth running around that before entering into proper marketing field, one needs to prove their mettle in sales. So can you please differentiate? She's requesting you to please differentiate sales and marketing in just one line. Madhurika Sharma.
Hi Madhurika, very interesting question. I don't know if I can actually answer it in one line because it's very tough. I've done sales, I've done marketing both. I think a marketing guy is incomplete without the experience of sales, and a sales guy is also incomplete without an experience of marketing. Since I've done both, I understand it is both goes hand in hand. Without the knowledge of your product, without the customer insight, you cannot do marketing. आप marketing में कोई campaign चला रहे हो, but customer को वो campaign समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, product समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, तो it is useless. So I think both works hand in hand. But in order to do any of it, either sales or marketing, you have to come to the grassroots level, understand your customer psyche. So I think both before you do this, one should have the understanding of what actually customer wants. So you go to the ground, talk to the customer, he'll tell you what he wants, and accordingly the product needs to be customized, marketing strategy needs to be in place, GTM has to be made, you have to identify the right demographics, कि आपको बच्चे को टारगेट करना है, कि आपको वाइफ को टारगेट करना है, कि मदर को करना है, कि दादी को करना है, कि हस्बैंड को करना है, क्या एज ग्रुप होना चाहिए, क्या जेंडर होना चाहिए, कौन सा लोकेशन होना चाहिए, Tier 1 होना चाहिए, Tier 2 होना चाहिए, Tier 3 होना चाहिए, या कोई लग्जरी सेगमेंट होना चाहिए. So you have to understand all these things and then basis your price point, you have to put a price also to your product. आपको वो चीज 100 रुपए का भी चश्मा बिकता है और 50,000 रुपए का भी चश्मा बिकता है, बट 100 रुपए का चश्मा आप एक Tier 5 में बेच सकते हो, 50,000 का चश्मा आप Tier 5 में नहीं बेच सकते हो. So you have to understand your product, you have to understand your customer, and then accordingly devise sales strategies or marketing strategies and take it from there. So I think everything needs to be done together to actually be successful in your sales or marketing or even finance role.
Correct. They don't work in silos. I think that's beautifully summed up. I think for all the other questions that are probably privately coming or in the Q&A, please feel free. I hope they can reach out to you via LinkedIn. And I hope they can. So please feel free. Saurabh is easily available and approachable via LinkedIn, and also, you being a Soil alum, you will definitely get that benefit that Saurabh will definitely be giving it to all of you. All right. As concluding remarks that you'd like to probably, give it to our audience, Saurabh. So over to you for those last concluding talks, wrapping up thoughts, any that you'd like to give. Some of them are going to be, if they're second year students, they'll be sitting for their placements in the next 90 days. Whereas the first year students, if they're joining, they've just entered. And from the PGPM campus, that's that's the program that you had done. They will also be sitting for their final placements in the next 90 days. So please keep that in mind and do, share your parting thoughts and concluding remarks accordingly, please.
So I had woke up early in the morning today. I thought that before coming to this session, I'll jot down few points because I've not prepared a presentation or so. So I'll just read it out. Few things I had written, which I think will surely help the students, those who have just started and those who will be sitting for placements. So again, yeah, next 2 years for the people who have just joined Soil, I think next 2 years will be an amazing journey for all of you. Just empty your mind, focus on learning, be a good student. Please don't get into a rat race. Your time will come. Everybody is running its own race. You're not competing with each other. Please understand. It might look कि आप compete कर रहे हो अपने पड़ोसी से, but it is actually not the case. Everybody is running their own battle. Few will always get more salary than you. Few will get placed with a better company than yours. Few will get higher package than yours. Few will get a lot of perks than yours. Few will get maybe an opportunity outside of country as well. But trust me, it is an individual race. The more you get into this rat race वाला चीज कि यार उसको ये मिल गया, मुझे नहीं मिला, या मुझे कम मिल गया, उसको ज्यादा मिल गया, it will be of no good. You will get the best as per your dedication, hard work. Your output will be a function of input, as simple as that. Maybe today that output might not be, you might not get that output today, but with time, you keep focusing on input. With time, you will get. India did so well in the World Cup, in the 50-over World Cup, but the last match, India couldn't cross the line. But they kept in the right, they made ensure they were in the right frame of mind, and you saw the result in the last T20 World Cup. We won. So I think sooner or later you will achieve whatever you dream for. Just be ensure you be ethical. One of the pillars of Soil, you be ethical and be mindful, and be compassionate, sustainable, encourage diversity, and be true to yourself. You will reach where you want to be. I think Soil has got the most amazing faculty under the leadership of Anil sir. I think all of us are in safe hands. So don't worry. You've got the best platform. what you do from here will depend on what you do. So what you become from here will depend on what you do from here. So and try connect it to the industry experts, what is happening, what are the latest things which is happening. You don't want to miss out on the things which is evolving with time. So stay connected. And yeah, my best wishes to the entire faculty, to Anil sir, to all the students. My best wishes, you guys keep growing. I'm sure this will help you both in your personal and professional life. Soil played a pivotal role in my journey, and I can proudly say that I am an alumni of Soil. And yeah, I'm sure you guys will be super proud of when you move out and explore the world outside. It'll be tough, it'll be competitive, but just be true to yourself. Sooner or later, you'll reach where you want to be. So yeah, all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much. I think we would like to say that we are very proud of you. Like you said that you're proud to be a Soil alum. I think we are very proud to have, like I said at the very beginning, also an illustrious alum who's had an impeccable track record like yourself. Thank you so much once again for your time. And like I said, it sounded more like a masterclass on building a brand, building the D2C brand at the initial part. And of course, it was amazing knowing your journey at Clear Dekho and currently at Paytm. Thank you so much for your time. And thanks everyone for joining us. We will, of course, upload the recordings and keep you posted in case if you've missed some parts of it. Thanks so much, Arvind, for helping us coordinate and bringing this webinar together today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Nija. Thanks, Arvind, and thanks everyone. All the best. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.